You are Locked On Mavericks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Dallas, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Man, that was a long game, but it was no doubt worth the wait. A lot of fun on a Friday night, and here we go. Welcome into the Mavs Postcast. Your team every day, or in our case, your team every game. My name is Jeff Biggs. Great to be with you after what turned out to be a really nice win for the Mavs. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Dallas, your destination after every single game. You can also find us on the Locked On Mavs podcast feed as well. And a reminder, FanDuel, from the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. And coming up, we're going to talk about what I would say the real return for Kyrie Irving tonight. This is the Kyrie that we've been kind of waiting for a little while now. We'll get into that. The streak is over. The losing streak is over. We'll talk more about what is involved with that, and a big game not only for Kyrie tonight, but also for PJ, for Naji, and we can go down the list and we'll go over that as well. But we have to start with the Biggs takeaway tonight, and that would be the fourth quarter of this game. Seems like it's all kind of coming down to the end of these games or in the finish. This one, not quite the very end. And, oh, by the way, I'm going to rip the refs just a little bit more coming up in this episode as well. But we got to talk about the fourth quarter. Man, you know, as we were in halftime, when the Mavs went into halftime leading by 20, I confess, I thought it. There's no way they could blow a 20-point lead after losing the 18-point lead the other day against Denver, right? They couldn't do that again on their home floor. No way, right? I thought it. I confess, I thought it. And man, the way that the third quarter played out, and we'll get into that, was unreal. But beginning in the fourth, it was a 1-point game. The Mavs led by 1 point, 77-76. And you're thinking, oh no, here we go again. No way. You can't lose this game when you're leading the Thunder by 20 at the half. I mean, that would be, you talk about a bad loss, a devastating loss. That would be a devastating loss for sure. But the Mavs did not lose. They win it 106-98. And when we look at that fourth quarter, they wanted it more. I mean, they wanted the win more. I mean, it was 83-83 with 8 minutes left. Daniel Gafford picked up his fifth foul, went to the bench. Clay hit a big three, his first basket of the second half. And I don't think he had another shot attempt the rest of the game. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe Clay is kind of hot right now. Maybe he's feeling it. Let's get him going. But he didn't. But man, Naji had the big corner three. He had the 3-point play. Maxey, how about Maxey in the post at one point for a 3-point play of his own? And Spencer Dinwiddie hit not one, but two big threes. And then you sprinkle in all that nonsense with the referees and Dagno and the Thunder. Bottom line is the Mavs won the fourth quarter 29-22, and they ended up winning the game. Huge win tonight, 106-98 over the Thunder. Really needed this game. And I'll tell you what, as bad as the two losses were to Denver and the heartbreaking loss in New Orleans when the Mavs were robbed by that botched no call of goaltending in the end of that game, this one made up for it. I know SGA didn't play, right? But hey, Luka didn't play for the Mavs. Derek Lively didn't play for the Mavs. And now, add to that list, Jaden Hardy out again after re-injuring his right ankle. That was the ankle that kept him out. What was it? I think 7 games before, 10 games, whatever that was. And Dwight Powell, that was, they called it a hip. I mean, it looked like he was kind of grabbing the groin area when he did that slip. That looked painful for Dwight Powell. So 2 more on the list. And I'm going to keep saying this every show. I mean, we're counting down till we get to February 6th and the NBA trade deadline. I mean, all eyes are on Nico and what he may or may not be able to do. And again, you heard the reports. We've been talking about it from the get-go, reports that Nico and the Mavs have been really, really active on the phones, but that's great. And we love that. And props to him for doing his part. But at the end of the day, you need the other team to do a deal with you. I mean, you can make all the calls you want, you can make all the inquiries you want, but if you don't get another team to go along with your deal that you can win, then it doesn't matter. It's just their calls, which is great. So with that said, huge win tonight. If you want to get involved, that's why we do this show. This is the Mavs postcast, right? Nick and the crew, Isaac, slightly biased. They do their show every day. The Locked On Mavs podcast. We're teammates, but this is complimentary. We come on after the games with this show, and one of the main reasons why we want to do that is to let you be involved live and to interact. So we want to welcome the comment crew. Jump on in, give me your thoughts. What do you think of the team? What do you think of the win tonight? What do you think of the trade deadline? Anything you want to jump in on, please feel free in the comment section right up there, and we'll get your thoughts. But again, can't say enough. What a fun night. Again, a long game, and I was gonna save it for the refs, but that without a doubt, I don't think we'll see a busier game with the officials than we did tonight. I mean, what was that? 5 calls, and I don't know. The thing that just drives me crazy is that you had 2 incidents tonight, but one incident in particular when they were trying to determine whether or not PJ Washington had a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2 foul. And they spent, I would say, at least 10 minutes on that, or about 10 minutes on that. And I just, for the life of me, I don't understand. You can spend 10, 15 minutes and go over these little calls in non-significant moments, but then you have a night like the other night when you have a clear and decisive blown goaltending call that swung the outcome of the game, and that just goes by the wayside. Now I know, I mean, like I told you, I mean, the NBA, they do hold their refs accountable, and they try to be public and transparent about it, right? That's great, but what did that do for the Mavs the other night? Nothing. I mean, that's great that they admitted they were wrong, but my point is if you can spend all that time during the game for all these different calls, then why is it when we're at home and we can see clearly, as did everybody else in the arena except the 3 referees, why is it that we can see the blown call, but the refs and the center in New York, they're watching the game too? Let's get the call right. I mean, the call should be the call. If that kind of a call late in the game, like I said, the only other analogy I can say is like this is like pre, old school NFL replay, right? Remember all those years we would watch NFL games and it would be so frustrating because we would be watching the games at home and we would see the right call, but the wrong call would be made on the field and they wouldn't do anything about it. Now the NFL, I think for the most part, they have a pretty good system, right? You have the challenges, but late in the game, the referees take over. And if there's anything close, scoring, turnovers, they take a look. Why can't the NBA if you don't want to do 2 minutes, that's fine. But how about at the very least in the final minute of the game, if you have a clear, questionable, disputable call like that in a critical moment, take a look at it, or have New York jump in and do the right thing. And like I said, you miss something like that, but we can spend 10, 15 minutes on something like this, and we have like 5 incidents tonight. It just no sense. And I don't know. You just hope that at some point, like so many other things, that eventually common sense will be able to break through, and logic and the truth and everything else will be able to break through. The light will shine through, and they can fix this and get this right. Obviously, it will have to be during the off season, but busy night for the refs. But the bottom line is the Mavs needed to step it up in the fourth quarter the way that they did, and they did exactly that tonight for a big win on their home floor. Really happy for the not only the fans watching, but the 20,000 plus that were at the arena tonight. That was a big win and a much needed win, beating the top team in the West, 106-98. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Kyrie Irving coming back. I mean, Kyrie's been back and didn't play the other night, but he was back again tonight, and that's great. But I thought that it looked like the real Kyrie Irving that we've been kind of waiting for tonight. And also, I'll mention something that I thought was kind of cool as well from this game. So we'll get into that when we return. This is the Mavs postcast on a Friday night. All right. I want to let you know that with Robinhood Gold, you can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. The privileges of the very privileged, are no longer exclusive. All right. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash in non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive your 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account. Interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Okay, welcome back to the Mavs postcast. Again, thank you for hanging with me on a Friday night. Jeff Biggs, hope you have a great weekend. Great way, I think, to start the weekend tonight with his win for the Mavs, 106-98. They win at home over the Thunder. If you want to jump in via the comments, we would love to hear from you, get your reaction. That's what we're here for. Kyrie Irving, though, started and ended up leading the way tonight with 25 points in 39 minutes, 9 of 19, including 3 threes, but he also had 5 rebounds and 5 assists and also 3 turnovers. But I thought that it was really good to see Kyrie kind of waiting, but working, and he looked like vintage Kyrie, the way that he was able to move and drive and get to the basket. I thought it was great the way that he started the game. Remember that in the first quarter, the Mavs started this game with a 10-0 run to begin the game, and he had a 3 for PJ, and then Kyrie had that really, really nice three-pointer, nice deep 3, and I think that kind of set the tone for his night. But man, I mean, he was moving. He was hit a couple times, landed pretty hard a couple times, but he played really, really well. Kind of took over, or tried to take over in the fourth quarter in crunch time, and that's what I've been looking for with Luka out. I think we were all kind of hoping, okay, well, at least they have Kyrie, and until Luka gets back, this is an opportunity maybe for Kyrie to go off a little bit, go off and have a couple of monster games. So maybe we'll see one here coming up. 27 tonight. I'm sorry, 25 tonight for Kyrie, and he looked really, really good. So hopefully the back won't be a major issue. Hopefully the shoulder is doing okay. And like I said, hopefully maybe we'll see Kyrie kind of get his game cranking back up again and up to that high level. Also tonight, PJ Washington, like I said, kind of waiting. It seems like we've been waiting, and that PJ Washington has been due for a little bit more scoring, a little bit more offense, a little bit of a bigger offensive night, and he finished tonight with 16 points and 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Had the taunting foul, which, even though I love PJ and I get it, like even if he didn't say anything, the way that he stood over the Thunder player at that point, you can't do that in this day and age in the NBA. Even I get it, they're going at it, they're talking trash, they're shoving. I get it, but in that case, you just got to walk away. You can't stand there. But good to see PJ, a very efficient 6 of 8, knocked down 2 threes, was good at the line, ended up playing 36 minutes. Daniel Gafford, after his career night the other night when he scored a career high in New Orleans, ended up with only 8 points tonight because of the foul trouble. Had 6 rebounds, tried to get it going, had some misses, had the foul trouble, had the offensive fouls, which were frustrating, and finally was able to get that one big basket in the fourth quarter. But good to see, though, where he's at, and hopefully, again, coming off of his career night, he'll continue to keep it going as well. Spencer Dinwiddie was a really nice surprise with his game tonight, including those 2 huge threes at the end of the game to put the game away and to keep the Mavs from not only losing the game, but winning it. 16 for Dinwiddie, 5 of 13, including a team-high 4 3-pointers. And again, he has 16 with Clay. Clay had 2 threes, one big one there in the fourth, ended up with just 6 points, though, in 24 minutes for Clay. He did have 5 rebounds and 3 assists, but kind of a quiet night for Clay. I love the way, though, the Mavs came out and started the game. They started the game with a 10-0 run, but I loved, more than the points, I loved the way that they were playing on both ends of the floor. They clearly had a different energy tonight. The offense was moving well. They were really, really active on defense, and you can tell. I don't know if it's these Friday night games. I don't know if it's when the Mavs are in the underdog role as opposed to kind of the favorites, but they were ready to play in this game tonight. They had the energy, and it showed with the way that they played. So I was really happy with that, even though the Thunder finished the first quarter strong and led 26-22. I thought the Mavs were playing really well. And then in the second quarter, unfortunately, that's when Jaden Hardy went down. But how about Omax knocking down a corner three? That was good to see. Clay had a couple of really nice assists, even though we were just talking about how he only scored 6 points. He had a couple of really nice assists. Kyrie, Grimes had threes. Then we had the double technical with PJ and Wiggins that I was talking about. You can't do that. The Mavs went on a 19-2 run. They ended the first half on a 19-2 run, and they led by 20 at the break. And the numbers that I loved from halftime, which were great. And man, I mean, if you could get the Mavs to play like they did at the end of the second quarter, and it really, I mean, in the first half, they had 22 fast break points compared to 2 for the Thunder. All right. And they had 26 points off of turnovers in the first half. I mean, that's great. I mean, and considering the tough losses of late, right? I mean, that was very impressive. And you're thinking, like I said, in the open, I mean, Mavs are up by 20. There's no way you can lose that game, right? And thankfully, they didn't. All right, our last time out, when we come back, we'll get into some more of the numbers, and we'll finish things up on this Friday night. But a big win for the Mavs at home, 106-98. You are watching and listening. Thank you to, by the way, those of you that maybe not be joining us now live, but you listen at another time. We appreciate you. This is the Mavs Postcast. All right, when I found out that Skims is making underwear for men, I was intrigued. I've heard so much about their quality from friends and family, and so I had to give it a try. And let me tell you, it lives up to the hype, no doubt. I've had some issues at times with the underwear, just trying to get the right fit, comfort. I confess, usually around the holidays, I don't eat as healthy as I normally do, and I gain a little extra weight, and so my pants get a little tighter. That's probably TMI. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, finding the right style, Skims changed all that. Their men's line offers something for everyone, which is great. From boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. Shop Skims Men at skims.com/LockedOnNBA and Skims stores. And let them know we sent you. All right. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. That's Skims. All right. And then also, because we got our last full weekend of football with Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, right? Well, from the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. That's $300 to keep the action going. The FanDuel app is easy to navigate, and the variety of bets keeps every game exciting. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around for your winnings, whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some extra excitement to the playoffs. FanDuel has you covered. Just visit fanduel.com to join today and get started with $300 in bonus bets. That's fanduel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. All right, welcome back to the Mavs Postcast on a Friday night. Final segment here before we wrap things up. Again, hope you have a great weekend after a great win tonight for the Mavs, 106-98. The third quarter, no way to sugarcoat it. That was ugly. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. No, it was bad. The Thunder started with 4 threes. They started with a 12-0 run. The Mavs went 0 for 9, went the first 7 minutes of the third quarter without making a basket. Thunder outscored the Mavs in the third 33-14. That's not going to work. I don't know what the issue is. It seems like of late, I'm not going to say all season, but of late, the Mavs have had like either they'll have a good first half, but not a good second half, or a bad first half and a good second half, but got to find a way to get these wins going again. Coming into tonight, the Mavs had lost 3 of 12. I'm sorry, they had won 3 of 12. All right, so now they've won 4 of 13. But that's not what they want. That's not going to get it done in a jammed up, scrunched up West. A couple of things from tonight. I mean, we hope, I hope that Jaden Hardy's ankle injury isn't real bad. I mean, he seemed to be walking pretty good. I was a little surprised. I thought maybe Derek Lively would return. He was moving, but apparently the fact that he didn't play tonight, I don't know, maybe he's not day-to-day like we thought. I don't know. We'll have to see about Monday. The good news is the Mavs have a couple of days off now before they play again Monday against the Hornets. Also, we watch Maxey, who with Lively out, and if you have a game like today, now it looks like unfortunately Dwight Powell injured himself as well. Maxey is going to see some more minutes. Maxey ended up with 7 points in 20 minutes, had that nice play in the post, but went 0 for 4 from beyond the 3-point line. I would think that would be, and I've said this, and I think we all agree, we love the way that he plays defense, but we don't want him to be a liability when the Mavs are on offense. We don't want him to be just a guy that's there that the other teams can sag off of because they know that he's not going to score. So I don't know what if it means. I mean, if he's going to stay in the corners, then they need to do something to kind of get him ready to go and do something to help him, work on that shot. I mean, his shot looks okay, but they've got to find a way to really get him confident where he can become a weapon and try to help the team offensively when he has the opportunity to do so. Omax, we talked about his 3. That was great to see. And what a game off the bench for Naji. I'll tell you what, and I keep saying this, but the young guys, specifically Naji and Quentin Grimes, I mean, if they can get it going and really find a way to carve out a niche. And I think they are. They're trying. And again, everything is going to change. Hopefully when Luka comes back, that will have a domino effect on the rest of the minutes in the rotation. But man, like what I've seen of Naji of late, and again, he had big three in the corner, had a big drive to the basket, ended up with 14 points off the bench, also had 10 rebounds. So a nice double-double for Naji Marshall tonight. And all in all, again, just a great team win for the Mavs to beat the top team in the West, the OKC Thunder. You look at the schedule, got to get that win on Monday against the Hornets. That's a you don't like to say must win, but you're looking at games where you have a chance to win, you have a chance to beat the team, and you're coming off, you got a couple days off before you play on Monday. Coming off a big win tonight, you want to keep that going. You want to get some momentum. And I mean, we're going to get into next week, and hopefully, I would think by the end of next week, maybe we'll have a little bit more of an update on where things stand with Luka Doncic and hopefully his return again. Remember the other night, TNT said that he would be back before the All-Star break. So it's sometime here in the next few weeks. We just don't know when. Points in the paint tonight, the Mavs dominated 36-22. Fast break points, that number stayed the same from halftime, 22-2. The Thunder, points off of turnovers. The Thunder gave up 29. The Mavs gave up 17 off of turnovers. And Oklahoma City, number 2 in the NBA with the fewest turnovers. They average about 12. They ended up with 15 in this game tonight. So again, just a great win for the Mavs, who also led by 20 at the half, and they found a way to get it done in the fourth quarter. Oklahoma City did have the rebounding edge when all was said and done, 46-43. All right, so good win tonight for the Mavs. Again, they'll have a day, at least they'll get one practice in, if not two, before they head to Charlotte to take on the Hornets for that MLK Day matinee on Monday. After that, taking a look at the schedule, they'll be back home for a couple of games. Do they have another back-to-back coming up? Yeah, they go to Charlotte, and then they have, here we go again. What did I say earlier? 2 one-game road trips. They play at Charlotte, come back Wednesday to play Minnesota, and then have a back-to-back playing the rematch at OKC on Thursday. And then 1 week from tomorrow, huge game with the Celtics here at home. And that will be great. That would be great if Luka could get back by that game. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be great to see. Wishful thinking. I don't think it's going to happen, but that'll be a big game anyway, nonetheless, the rematch with the Celtics. We got a comment. Want to thank the comment crew. Want to thank Ayush for getting in, and he or she asks why Klay is taking less shots. And Klay Thompson tonight was just 2 of 7 with 2 threes. That's a great question. And I think really it's a couple of things. Number one, I think it's just the way that the offense has been and the way these games have gone and the way the games have played out. I thought after he knocked down that 3 in the fourth quarter that maybe there was an opportunity there to kind of get him going, that maybe he was heating up, but I don't think he took another shot. I think Klay has, even though he still shoots and he still works every possession, I think he's more inclined right now to pass and try to do other things. And I think maybe he feels like he's kind of fighting it a little bit. I think also with Kyrie being out, I know Kyrie was back, but when Kyrie was out, and in addition to Luka, I think he's trying to maybe do some other things to help the team out other than just taking shots. But I think when all's said and done, I think he's still going to be he's still going to have a big role with this team, and I think those shots will eventually come back once Luka gets back and once they get this rotation and everything settled for the last part of the season. Hopefully we'll see that. But you know what? The other thing too, hey, with other guys stepping up now and making the most of their minutes and doing a good job with their shots, hey, if they win, if Klay taking less shots, a little bit less shots, but other guys are scoring and contributing, and there's like 5, 6, 7 guys in double figures, and the Mavs are winning, I'll take that. And if Klay can, his shots are big shots, even though they're less, but if they're big threes or clutch shots, I'll take that as well. But I don't be down. His shots will come. He's still going to have a big role on this team, I think, when all is said and done. He's kind of fighting a little bit. He's had some misses. I think you see it with Klay. When he has a miss, he'll kind of take a little break and he'll work and do some other things. I thought tonight, though, had that big three, had a couple of really nice assists. That's the great thing about him. Even when he misses a shot or misses a couple shots, he still finds a way to contribute and help the team out in other ways. And we saw that tonight with his passing, with his defense and rebounding, and still was able to help the team win. All right, that's going to do it for our show tonight. Thanks for jumping in, Ayush. Hopefully you'll join us again after another game. But this one tonight goes to the Mavs. They win it 106-98. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy the next couple of days. Don't forget the Locked On Mavs podcast with Nick and the crew. And this has been the Mavs Postcast.